Okay, so I'm doing things quite a bit differently this time because I've been waiting for a while for a blackjack session with the Wizard Sim that would really test the whole concept, not just of pattern betting, but of the specific pause notion where you get to a certain level that you set rather than one that's set by the house, and you decide, okay, I'm going to back away, and then when I get a chance to go to a higher rent table, I will, sort of try to recover this. And if I have to move again, I have to move again. But it's all about basically just reacting in a sensible, calm, rational, logical, and perhaps above all, confident manner when things start to go really bad, because they will always go bad at some point. And the difference between strategic play and the play that the casinos want to see from punters is obviously uh, rationality, sense, recognition of the numbers, all of the things that I've talked about to boring length in these demos. But all I'm trying to do is to just get across the idea that if you approach these games in a rational manner, understanding exactly what the challenges are and understanding the underpinning numbers in all of these games. And specifically, I'm interested in blackjack, baccarat, craps, and to a lesser extent, single zero roulette. I will not go near games like three card poker, Texas Hold'em, double zero roulette, any of that bloody nonsense that the casinos keep chucking in front of us, and basically pretending that we have a chance to win. And everybody has a chance to win in the short term. It's easy enough to sort of like, suddenly hit a winning streak and boom, boom, boom. Great stuff. You come out the other end with a few $100s extra. And then if you do what the casinos expect of you, is that you respond to that by sort of saying, no, no, I'm going to keep that in my pocket. I'm going to take it home with me. And then, well, maybe I'll just have another little dabble, see if I can, make a little bit more, because it'd be nice if this 2,000 profit were, oh, I don't know, maybe 2,500 or 3,000. Let's give that a go. I mean, watch these guys, these professionals, as they like to think of themselves, on the YouTube gambling channels. They do it all the time. They just they get greedy, they get stupid, maybe they get drunk. Probably not. I don't think I've ever seen anybody making a presentation. Well, sometimes they're a little bit squiffy, but I don't think there's any serious drinking going on. At least not when the camera's rolling. And basically they just behave exactly per the script that the casinos have written for all of us. And so, I can bang on and bang on and bang on, but the next thing I'm going to throw up is going to be a summary of how pattern betting tackled the demo, which I'm going to leave in full here. I thought about editing it to cut out some of my ums and ahs and pauses and head scratching and worrying and twittering and all the rest of it. And then I thought, you know what? The trolls out there, the arseholes, the people who I suspect so often are in the pay of casinos, or are certainly motivated by something other than an interest in the truth and the numbers and the reality. If I edit stuff and chop it up, then they're going to say, "Yeah, see that, see what you did there." And in fact, it's impossible to edit these blackjack sessions in my favor, because sharp-eyed, smart people are going to notice the numbers along the top, which is deck value. How much of the deck is left, what the running count is, and what the true count is. So I I just don't want to get into that stuff. So I'm just going to leave it in full. And that's one of the reasons why I'm putting this stuff up front, because then at least you have the chance to be ready, at least double the speed of your playback, and then watch me get nearly slain by the dragon, and then finally get in the arsehole in the, well, anyway, have fun. Okay, I'll go through this lot in detail later, you lucky lot. But I'll just touch on it fairly quickly here. I mean, what you're looking at is an absolutely horrendous house advantage that just went. I mean, it was just ridiculous, and it ended up at 23.9% against the player, poor little old me. Um, and the win in the end was 27,175. The exposure was over 200,000, 223,000. And it's absolutely fair that a lot of people will look at this and say, well, that's no fucking use to me. I mean, I can't afford that kind of money. That's just nuts. That's stupid. That's not what I'm about here. What I am trying to demonstrate over and over and over again. I mean, even I'm starting to get fed up. Uh, well, I would if I didn't love doing these things. But I mean, all I'm trying to get across is that don't try to beat these games unless you have the proper ammunition. Don't try and beat them.
This is a
Alexa, stop. I don't want to go to bloody Tesco. Unless you have the ammunition, unless you have the confidence, unless you have a strategy which will take care of you through thick and thin, don't even think about it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't gamble. What I am saying is don't throw your money away. So find some other way to get your jollies, not sort of putting up your bloody mortgage, your life savings, your wages for 6 months or whatever. Don't do any of that stuff because the house will damn well beat you. Because if you don't have a shitload of money, you will get creamed. So I said this was going to be a quick summary, and look what happened. Anyway, look at this down here. The Reds speak for themselves, right? Endless, repeated, bang, 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 bang. And all I get is, sort of like, all right, sort of some nice little turnarounds. But when you get into a really deep hole, what you have to do is do what I did here. These little P's here are the pauses where these are rolled over to a higher level game, a high roller game. And, it's just astounding that people will just keep throwing money after money after money after money after money in a bad situation. Now, it is absolutely true to say you cannot predict that the nasty streak that you're going through right now isn't going to suddenly end. But you know what really bugs me is when I hear people like Donald Trump's friend, saying, oh, yeah, so what you do when you get a really sticky shoe is what you do is you forget all about the basic strategy and you split out to 2 hands, 3 hands, and you double down on shit you shouldn't double down on, and you do this, it's all absolute crap. And the thing that's really offensive is that when he's saying it, if he believes it, he's an idiot. If he doesn't believe it and he's selling crap, then what is he at best? A bullshitter. It's just extraordinary to me that kind of attitude prevails. But that's exactly what the casinos want you to believe. When you get into a deep hole, get hold of a bigger spade and dig faster so that you get into even more trouble. That's what they want you to do. That's what Dana White wants you to do. So, there you are. Anyway, more about this later. And obviously, nobody has to watch any of this stuff. But what I'm trying to do is to just say to the 2 or 3 people who actually stick with me to the end in these things, don't even think about putting money on the table unless you've got enough money to challenge the money that the casinos got. You're never going to have as much as the casinos have got, but don't even think about taking on their millions that they can use to beat you to insensibility unless you've got a really, really big chunk of money that can take you through this kind of crap here. I mean, look at that. Look at the house edge here, minus 24%. This is what should have happened, minus 228, if the total action, which is nearly $1 million, is multiplied by the 23.9%, then you get this. That's the expected result. The actual outcome was 27,000, and here what you get is the average win is 11,743. The average loss is 6,734. The average win is therefore 174% of the average loss. And that's the kind of thing you've got to achieve if you're going to beat these games, because these games are rigged. There's no doubt about it. Now, somebody out there is going to say, yeah, well, that sim that you play on is definitely rigged. It's definitely crooked. Well, all I can say to you sort of smart asses is just sit down and play that sim for an hour or so using your betting method and see how you come out. And if you can, record it and send it to me, send the screen recording to me, and I will gladly put it up on my channel and say, hey, look, I was wrong. This is the better way to play. And I've always said there is undoubtedly out there many, many, many better strategies than mine, but this is the only one I know, and it's the best one I know. So, well, it isn't the only one I know. It's certainly the best one I know. I watch people like Casino Match Faker and various others putting up strategies which are just laughable. I mean, they are just so incompetent and so stupid. But hey, it's a free world. What can I tell you? Okay, I got my fingers crossed that this time. Excuse me, so sorry. That this time the turbo's working, but I don't know. It's been very odd. That's a bit slow, isn't it? Yeah, look at this. Look at, I mean, what the hell? I've also taken another stab at doing the um, counting analysis, and I abandoned it again. I do hope I can get to it at some point. What has happened to but it's honestly, is that a repeat? No, I think it must be 51, because that amount of money there isn't very much. Well, that really is a bugger. Okay, so we're on. Has to be 2-3 now, doesn't it? Yep. Okay. Minimum. Double for the push. Oi, oi, oi. That's a lot of pairs, isn't it? +1. +1. I'm also hoping that this time I'll be able to demonstrate the pause thing. But I got foiled the last time because it just wasn't needed. Well, it was right at the very end, but that sort of looked a bit weird. I think I'm on 2-3, but I'm not sure. I lost myself there. 5-3 drop. 1, 2, 3. 5-3 it is. 2-3. Oh, what a waste of a jammy hand. 5-6, second. Bummer. Okay, I've got my 11-12. All right. So I got an 11-12 times 100. All right, so now we forget that. Save it for next time. Hooray. One, two, third. 3-2 drop. This looks like a bumpy shoe, doesn't it? Oh, 3-2 it is. One, two. Three, four. Oh dear. 7, 8. That might work. 7, 8 worked. Back to the min. $51, second. Repeat. Minimum. Double for the loss. Okay, 1, 2, third. Big one. 3-2 drop. Boy, it's so tedious, this, isn't it? Three, 2, 5, 4, second. Uh, 9, 10. 9, 10 times 100 and 3787. All right, well, at least we got something to pick up on when we move to another. Well, perhaps when I run out of this shoe. Oh no, I've got to increase the minimums, haven't I? Minimum. Yeah, this might be a useful demonstration this time. Bloody hell, what's happening here? This is a really nasty, nasty, nasty setup. I think that was a win, wasn't it? Yeah. Back to the min. Double. Or +1 is what it's supposed to be. Plus. Plus. That's a double for the push. Oh, that didn't work so well. Okay. Always after a... Uh-oh, no, that's wrong. Yeah, we're chasing it. There we go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now biggie. Now biggie. Now biggie. Oh, okay. All right. So, we're on 4-5 now, aren't we? All right. So 9-10. Boy, we're getting a lot of them. This is interesting. This is a real nasty, nasty bunch of cards. And according to Dana White, what I should be doing is I should be betting more, breaking all the basic strategy rules, and playing like a prat. But what does he know? +1. 51, second. Okay, that's a repeat. Oh, I can't remember whether that's a double down or not. I've got to check on it. Yeah, it's a double. Oh no! Oh dear. Okay. I've completely forgotten where I'm at. Okay. It's got to be 2-3 then, hasn't it? No. 4-5. 9-5 drop. Nine five it is. Okay, so now we're on 14-10. Blimey O'Reilly, we've got a bunch of these now. We've nearly run out of money here too. 1912. So we're like 3,000 down, and we've got a bunch of. Oh, this is actually very good for me. I'm happy about it. Enable me to make my point. Okay. So back to the min. What the hell happened to turbo? Repeat. Minimum. We're running out of. I'll just reset when we run out here. Oh, very nice up there. Very well done. Double for the loss. Okay. So I'm going to adjust the rules now. We're going to 100 minimum and 25,000 maximum. Well, that's interesting. It still says last hand up there. Right. Okay. All right. So we've got to wait for a win. But I can't bet nothing. So we're on a minimum and we've got 11-12 to take care of. Oh, bloody hell, this is dragging on forever, isn't it? Eh. It's just amazing. Okay, I think we better call this. It's 11-12 is what it's supposed to be, but I think we better call it 13-40. Oh, bugger. 13-14 after all those losses. In fact, maybe we should call it 14-15. Okay, 14-15. So now we're on 3-3 basically. Now we're going to have to go to 6-7 is the third. It's not looking good for us, is it? So obviously this one has to be set aside. 6-7 times 1. Wait a minute. No, it's 13-14, isn't it? No, it's 13-7. 13-7. Oh, what a cock up. I've got it completely screwed up now. So if I clear this, that's more than 13-7, isn't it? I've messed up here. So this is an embarrassment, but embarrassments have to stand. 13,700, because we're at 11,500, so that means that we're 13,500 down. So we must be worse off than 13,700. So I'm going to have to call it 16,700. And then we drop back to the minimum. Yeah, I think I've got that right. It's just it's just an absolutely horrible sort of experience, this whole thing. I mean, look at this, the dealer just won't bust. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so now we've got the next one to deal with, which is the 910. So that's this one. So it's still 910. Okay, so that one's taken care of. And then we've got another 910, which is in hundreds, I should explain. Okay, so that one's taken care of. And now we got a 1410 to deal with, also in hundreds. So that's 20, we better make that 24.25, I think. Oops, that's wrong. 24.25, second. That was a unlucky miss. 24.25. Okay, so the third is going to be 49.50. There it is. Damn it. So 49.50. 49.50, which is it's got to be 10.11, hasn't it? No, 10. It's the third now. So 10.5 times 1,000. This is a real shit show. Okay. So now we don't have enough money left in the pot. We've got 4,950 here. And minus 25,000 over there. And then the first one was we had 1,912 on one side and minus 5,000 on the other side. That was the first one. So now we bump up to 500 minimum and 100,000 maximum. I'll try and figure out a way to speed this up by cutting out some of my and ahhing, if I can. Okay, so we've got 16.7 to deal with first. And this is in thousands now, of course. So that's 16.7, so we just got 10 back. So now we want 6.7. Okay. We better call it 1350 now, I think. Oh, bloody hell, look at that. 1315. Um, it's going to be 2830, isn't it? Well, what do you say to that? Okay, so that's the 1617 scene off. And so now we've got to deal with 10-5 out of 10. Okay. 1510 second. Oh, can you believe that? 15, 10, 20. It's got to be 25, 30 again, hasn't it? Damn, it's really making it hurt, isn't it? 25, 30. And drop. I think this is the last one. That's a bugger, isn't it? So now we go to 25, 30 again. Oh, fuck. Okay, 25, 30. 35. That didn't work well, did it? What was it? Jesus, I'm in a mess here because I'm forgetting to write stuff down. 25, 30. So that was. So it's not allowing me to look to see what my last bet was. So I'm going to have to do some very canny kind of like clipping here, not mucking anything up, but just see the counts at the top, the running count, the decks left, and the true count will all help me reassure people that I'm not snipping out stuff that's damaging to me. So we're 100,000 behind here. So that's got to be. So now we've got. God, I'm out of my depth here now. Okay. So all I can do. Well, we just got 250 credit here. See, I can't go higher than 100,000. That's the problem because of the limitations of this game. So I've basically got to go in 500 and wait for a win. Jesus Christ. This is going to prove to be an absolute bitch, this set. I mean, look at it. I mean, you know, you've got to laugh, really, haven't you? Okay, so basically we've got to go. We're at 115. I don't believe it. Well, I do believe it. Okay, so 115. So now we got to go 16, 17. And I'll have to do my sums very carefully. So 33, 35 second. That's a double, isn't it? Oh boy. Look at that. 33, 35. So that's 103, 70, third. Might as well make it 103.75. I can't believe the cards that are coming up here. 103.75. Well, for the push, I'm going to go. I can't go more than that, can I? Oh, yeah, I can. No, I can't. 103, 100. See, this is the problem. Once you know. Jesus. Okay, so now we got 11,000 over here, and minus 100,000 over there. So we're now at 203. 100 times 1,000. Boy, this is going to be complicated. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put the finals after I've been able to play this back, because I haven't exactly lost track, but I'm having a tricky time of it right now. So 203, 100, and obviously we're going to be waiting. Better make that the minimum. Okay. So 5,000 is the minimum. It's just unbelievable, the crap that's coming out here. Watch him get a 7. Okay, so now we're 5,000 down here. So we can only bet 95. So 103. So that, no, 208. So call it 210. We're down right now. All right, 210. So we just made 95. So that's 110. So that's 115. And we can only bet 100,000. I was going to say, don't get the 9. Okay. And now, I think 15-16 is the right bet. Alexa, stop. But let's call it 15-20. $10. All right. I think we just wrapped it up. So, because we've got 210,000 here, got a win of 210,000. But I'm not absolutely certain. So what I'm going to do is wrap it up and then go through the whole deal and try and make this make sense when I put it up on the channel, because it is a mess, but it's a wonderful demonstration of well, it isn't a theory, it's a practice, but it's a wonderful demonstration of the validity of the strategy, because I think it's going to turn out that the house edge in this whole sample is going to be well into double figures. And it's supposed to be somewhere between minus 0.5 and minus 0.7 in favor of the house at blackjack. So this might turn out to be a kind of a seminal session. We shall see. Next time. Okay, so I touched on the nitty-gritty numerical details of this horrible session, one of the worst I've ever experienced on the Wiz sim. And I just want to repeat one thing, and that is, if there's anybody listening still who thinks that sims are not the same as the real thing, you really do need to get your head out of your because it's just so ridiculous. I mean, there's nothing more accurate than a sim like Baccarat Win Pro or the Wizard of Odds Blackjack sim. They are absolutely perfect. And believe me, I did a lot of work before I committed to them, because I have put hundreds of hours into creating demos on there and analyzing their output and so on. Anyway, as I said before, I know that lots of people are going to look at the details of this horrible battle with the dragon and just say, well, that's not for me. I can't play that way. And all I can do is say to you, please understand that if you don't play this way, you will not win. There may be better progressive strategies than this one out there, but I guarantee you that the only way to beat the casino is with progressive betting. I have known that for 40 odd years. It's in any case absolutely logical. It's quite clear that if you're in a 50-foot hole, then a 3-foot ladder is not going to help you, and neither is a 5-foot or a 10-foot ladder or whatever, you know. And I watch these professionals on YouTube with absolute horror, knowing that they're basically performers, you know, doing the tap dance that's been choreographed for them by the casinos, because otherwise they're just being stupid. You know, I mean, they're throwing money away for the fun of it, and I don't know if any of these people get money back after they've switched the camera off or put their phones down or clicked them off or whatever. I mean, these days, what you can do, the videos that you can get, the quality of videos you can get with a phone is just amazing. But we all know that, right? I don't think Vegas Matt gets his money back. I just don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, the only clues that I ever get are things like EJ, Vegas Matt's son, saying one day in one of the many, many, many self-promoting interviews that they do all over YouTube, saying that 70% of their income comes from Google for hits, clicks, whatever. 15% comes from merchandise, and 15% is derived from casinos in various ways. I don't know the details. He didn't offer the details, but those are the percentages he gave. And the one thing that sticks out, of course, is 0% comes from gambling. And they said at one point at the turn of the year that they lost 300,000 last year playing the slot machines. And you sort of think, well, what is the sense? Where is the sense in that? It's $800 a day in the toilet. That's a week's wages after taxes and everything for the average American. You know, so it's just insane. It's insane. Anyway, just to run down here, the pink bars are where I sort of say, okay, that's it. I'm backing off until I can go to an expensive or more expensive casino and recover. And I haven't done a very good job here because I missed out a couple of recoveries, you know, which were helpful, which you know, sort of improved the situation very greatly. One of them is here, so I should mark that. If my computer will let me, it has been giving me absolute stick. A dear friend came and had lunch with me today and said, "Just buy another one." Lovely man, but you know, it's not something that we can do. I mean, you know, if I was playing with real money at this sort of level, and I'd be able to snap my fingers and have a £6,000 Apple system delivered in an instant, but that's not how it goes. So, anyway, the basic answer to everything here is that the strategy is simple enough because you've seen it in all these demos, and it doesn't take, you don't have to watch for many minutes to see how exactly what the strategy is. But the pause thing, you know, is not as explained as well as I would like, simply because I do it all the time. It's automatic to me. I've been doing it for years. When I was playing for real money in real casinos in all the years that I lived in Nevada, it was just second nature to me to just sort of say, whoa, you know, this is getting out of control. I'm going to sort of set this one aside. I'd make a note of the numbers, the down and the out. And then when I went up to State Line or somewhere where you know, there was more variety in terms of table limits and so on, I would just sort of gently go along until I got turnaround. And of course, my most expensive casino was the one that banned me in the end, because of course they thought that I was going in there and just going bang and winning off the bat, you know, with some sort of magical wand I was waving. All I was doing was working the numbers. And of course, my turnarounds often would have to be at a high limit casino, and they were the ones who decided I was making too much money at their expense, and kicked me off the blackjack tables, but not baccarat. So as it happened, I just carried on regardless, and they paid no attention, because you know their casinos are paranoid about baccarat, about blackjack. Sorry. But really don't give a tinker's toss about baccarat, because they think, hey, there's no way. You know, they can't count cards, they can't do this. The numbers are on our side, so don't worry about it. You know, and this is why you can bet far more at baccarat tables than you can at blackjack tables. What else did I want to say? Yeah, it's all very straightforward. You just like here, for instance, the next bet was going to be 1,200. The down was a lot, and so I just rolled it over, and then started to win. Bing, 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 and then bing, bing. And that's it. And it's something that you can only really get the taste of if you watch the demo, and that's a lot to ask. I know that, which is why I sort of like put stuff ahead of it and a brief explanation and so on. But if you're really interested in how to beat the game of blackjack and also baccarat, less so roulette, because roulette is a ridiculously house favorable game, even with a single zero. It's 2.6 whatever it is. It's basically it's 1/37th, so that comes out at whatever. Alexa, 1 divided by 37.
1 divided by 37 is approximately 0.027.
Okay, so it's 2.7% roughly, and I think that double zero is 5.62. I think that's how it works out. But anyway, yeah, it's a game to stay away from if you can. But of course, my thing used to be, and will be again when I get back into it, was start out, little money at roulette and also at craps. I love betting the field at craps because in some casinos still you can get triple for boxcars and double. Well, in all of them you can get double for snake eyes, 2 1s. Boxcars is 2 6s and 2 6s. 12 and 2. But it's great fun. I mean, if you've got a reasonably sized down and out, and you put your money out in the field, and you get a double payoff, that's a very, very nice bonus. And that's one of the main reasons why the people that you will see in casinos who wander from table to table running a martingale, they love blackjack because there's just a chance they'll pick up a natural, or they'll get an easy double down, or whatever. And I've had so many people say to me over the years, "Oh, those people don't exist. It's never happened. No." And yet I'd see them all the time because I was looking for them. I was looking for the guys who would shuffle up to the table and play 3 hands and then move on. And the people who don't exist and were straight out of my imagination were the reason that casinos all over the place brought in new rules about sort of you can't join a game until the shuffle. So that would mean obviously that martingalers would have to wait around, and it would be tricky for them. I mean, that's all absolute nonsense. I mean, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Waiting a while doesn't matter if you're going to make a chunk of change at the end of it. I mean, this is the whole thing about pattern betting. If you stop, if you pull back for whatever reason, you don't have to start again immediately. You don't have to start again in an hour or half an hour or this afternoon or tomorrow or next week or whenever. You don't. The numbers aren't affected. And I think this is something that people just cannot get their heads around. And it is so obvious. So, I mean, if you just spend a little time observing what happens in a casino, you can sort of you can mind bet, which is what I do from time to time because I was low on funds, or the casino was too busy to be any fun because there were too many players at blackjack table, which meant that everything was too damn slow. Each round took too long. Roulette is too slow. Baccarat, full-size baccarat tables are too slow. Didn't have enough time. So I would just wander around and mind bet. And that's when you learn. It doesn't matter if you go from the craps table to the roulette wheel to a baccarat table to blackjack. Just keep moving your down and out with you, and then just wait for the pattern to be right. Wait for the first rung of the ladder to appear, and then hope that there's another rung and another rung and another rung. I think you have to stretch that analogy a little further. The one thing you have to make sure of is that the rungs are as wide apart as possible, not further than you can step, but there's no point in having rungs that are sort of like an inch apart. If you've got a 50-foot hole to get out of, you need those rungs to be 18 inches apart and just be happy to haul yourself up to the surface and into profit. I do love my analogies, and they do sometimes go a bit far, so I apologize for that. But anyway, enough of all of this. Just to run down very slowly here. In fact, why don't I just use the page down? You can see how things work, and the bets get ridiculous. I get that. But all I'm trying to make people understand, or to help people understand, put it that way, leading horses to water and not being able to make them drink, etc., etc., is there is no sense in going into these games with a little money. On the other hand, if you listen to somebody like Dana White and his ridiculous claim that he won over $1 million every trip for 23 trips to one casino. I mean, what absolute bullshit! It just makes me... I'm embarrassed for him, I really am. But anyway, there he was. And if he wants to produce his W2Gs and prove me an idiot myself, then and have at it, mate. And that ain't going to happen, that's for sure. Anyway, it's all here. Do what you will with it. Do nothing with it. Ignore it. Write me off as a nutcase, a whack job. I don't care. I just want everything to be out there. It to be absolutely clear that I was the one sort of like raising the red flag and saying, hey, people, don't waste your money. You can't afford to win, so don't play.